Good morning and welcome back to Places in Ontario, Canada. We are in Pickering, Ontario, Canada / Ajax, Ontario, Canada. I will give the explanation and description below, but actually this is the plaque here in Ajax for the founding of Pickering. It's sort of hard to explain, so it's easier to read down below, but Ajax had already been founded, but the old Pickering Village was here before Ajax was founded, because Pickering was founded, if I'm not mistaken, in 1811, and Ajax wasn't even here. So when they were making the munitions and the bombs in Ajax for World War II, that's sort of the time when the city of Ajax expanded, and they made 40,000 bombs there, and most of them, if I'm not mistaken, if not all of them, were ladies. They were called the Bomb Girls. You can see that on YouTube as well. Anyway, this is the sign here in the old Pickering Village, and we're going to try and walk right down the center lane all the way through, because we can at 3:30 in the morning, but not at 3:30 in the afternoon. So I'm going to pick up the tripod, and it says, between 1801 and 1807, a settlement developed here in Pickering Township, where the Danforth Road crossed Duffin's Creek. Among the early settlers was Timothy Rogers, a prominent Quaker and colonizer who built a saw and grist mill in 1809. The post office was established in 1829, but the hamlet of Duffin's Creek developed slowly. The construction of the Grand Trunk Railroad completed in 1856, and growing agricultural prosperity stimulated the community's development as an important grist milling and local commercial center. Known as Pickering from the late 1870s, it became a police village in 1900 with about 1,000 inhabitants. In 1953, it was made an incorporated village, and in 1974, amalgamated with the town of Ajax. No laughing. That's a hard word to say, amalgamated. I almost said amalgamated. Anyway, okay, so this is looking, well, it's actually looking southeast, but that is the entrance down there. Oh, there's actually a gentleman sitting over there, so we won't bother him. You can see him right there. And we're going to walk down the center street, right down the center line. Kind of reminds me of a movie called, I think it was with Jan Michael Vincent, White Line Fever. That submarine place there, that's open because somebody just drove up and got a Subway sub at 3:30 in the morning. So, yeah, that movie was called White Line Fever. Oh, there I am. White Line Fever. Yeah, I know. Don't make me say Yellow Line Fever. So as we walk down the center lane here, when I come back, it's going to be a long walk back, but it's just for you folks. So there is some old buildings here. I'm going to try and capture as much as I can. Oh, there's a weather vane up there. Pickering Village Pharmacy here. Compounding pharmacy. But the buildings are so old here that you will see some more, because as I drove through, they sort of had a Tudor style, I think is what it is. So here's a bean and basket. As they say, I'm going to give a shout out to the places I pass. There's a dental office here. And, well, I was going to say a professional barristers, but it's for lease, so don't know what happened there. So as we come to the first stop sign, should I stop? Okay, I'm going to stop. Now I'm going to go. All right. That's the last time you're going to see that bad joke. So we're here at, let me see here. Linton Avenue and Old Kingston Road. And of course, somebody has to put graffiti on the back of the stop sign. So wow, here's an old building. So there's the barrister's building. This is a copy place, but wow, look at the, geez, it looks like an old, like as if you could have horse. Doesn't it look like an old general store? Like you would have tied up your horses there. I know there is some old photos here. I've seen them online where it's an old home, which now gives tax services. So, and cupcakes. So here's an old, starting to get into the really old part of the old Pickering Village here. If I move over quickly, that's because a car's coming, but I don't see any cars. I couldn't, like I mentioned, I could never do this in the daytime, which is why I always choose early morning for things like this, walking tours. So this is a dentistry office right now, and that's if you want to bring the kids. But you can see the old building here. So there's a bit of a park. I'm sure there was some sort of a building here at one time. I apologize if it's a little dark there. They have sort of old style lamps for the street lights. Wow, that didn't work, did it? I'm so sorry. But here's an old brick, very old brick building here. We're going to start getting into the sort of the Tudor style. I guess that's what they call it. And we're here at Windsor Drive with an old home here. Windsor Drive and Old Kingston Road. No trucks allowed, I guess. Now, I was here a long, long time ago. And I know that behind here, there's a sort of like a big square, an outdoor square. I think there was a bar and restaurants and things like that. So we're going to try that. And there are some cars parked here, but I believe that's sort of a, I think it's a daytime thing where they, if you heard some clicking, that was something in my pocket. It's like a package of gum that was sort of moving around in my pocket. So I decided to leave it on the sidewalk there, and I'll pick it up on the way back. So that's the entrance there. I'm going to walk around, right around this building, because the old Pickering Village sort of ends here. There's a retirement community home just to my right, which is right here. Lots of cars parked over here, but I assume, not seeing any cars in the retirement area, that this could be cars that people who work there, nurses, etc. So there's a stone entrance here. It doesn't really look that old, so I'm not really going to stop and look for dates, but this is sort of the, we're on the west side. See, now there's the Courtyard entrance again, and I can go in there, and I will, when I get around the other side here. Or maybe I'll just turn it a bit, give you a little bit more coverage here, because the widescreen doesn't work too well when you're this close up. But you can certainly come here and get your nails done. There's a restaurant here, schnitzel, chicken, steak, and veal. Wow, I don't need that at 3:30 in the morning, that's for sure. So this is the area that's called the Courtyard, and this is actually Kingston Road here. So as I pan to my right, that's actually looking westbound as it goes out of focus, which it always does in the nighttime. So sometimes I got to grab a light and bring back that clarity. So yeah, it's still out of focus. Well, folks, I'm going to try and get some light, so I apologize for that. I'm going to go through this courtyard entrance, I think. I always thought there was just one entrance, but yeah, there's quite a few. So they have a hair salon here and an ice cream place. I know the ice cream place is pretty busy. Come on. Darn, it just won't get clear. Well, maybe if we move up closer here, things will get much better. Come on, let's go. There we go. Look at that. I'll say the perils. Oh, there's an echo. Echo, echo. By the way, skateboarding or bicycle riding is not allowed. And you know what kids will do as soon as you read that. They're like, oh, you mean it's allowed? So this is the Courtyard. I remember this. This place was just, I'm going to turn the camera here. I'm going to just sort of swoop around here a little bit, give you an idea. This place was packed when I was here quite a few years ago. But with COVID going on now, looks like everything is closed. You know, I'm sure even in the daytime, because it's just too close. It's quite confined here. But a beautiful area. So I'm going to go climb up those 8 steps and show you what the courtyard looks a little higher up here. You can see some of these, looks like a Japanese and Korean restaurant and pub. It says coming soon, but I don't know, maybe it had already been here and then closed down, or they wanted to come and because of COVID it never happened, which is really sad. Because this is a beautiful place in the summertime. And, you know, this will sound quite Canadian, but this little yard here would look great. The little skating rink. I'm not sure they play hockey. Oops. Wow. Look at that. I just walked into that pole. And yes, I know you guys are going to hear this. I never edit. So I do put pause sometimes when I'm walking around, because if I'm walking back in the same area, why see it twice? And so I was going to say there's no hockey rink that's square, but this would make a great skating place. So, and look, another Canadian flag. Whoops, where am I? There they are. There's the Canadian flag. Oh my, I feel so bad. The Canadian flag out of focus? Nope, now back in focus. Okay, so this is definitely a real walking tour. Wow. Light. So, oh no, there's a mask. And my shadow. So this is going back up the other side of the street, a little closer. But I'm just going to put it on pause for a second and go over and get that package of gum. And there it is. That's mine, so nobody. All right, yeah, we get it. We get it. So this is the other side. Again, walking straight down the street. This is definitely, if you turn the camera, sorry, if you're laying down on the couch, it's still okay. But the building is incredible. So old. Yeah. I'm going to guess into the mid to late 1800s for that particular building, as well as the next one coming up. And that was the park earlier that you saw. So I think I'm going to go through the park and film the other side. Let's do that. I'm not going to walk through areas you shouldn't walk through. So I'm going to go down the... It's funny, now it's all dark for everyone. Isn't that fantastic? I'm sure you didn't tune in to see a dark parkette that turned into a asphalt driveway or parking lot. So I was way off. Anyway, so this is the back of the dentist office here. With the old brickwork. The old home here in the Pickering Village. And there's an old church over there with a graveyard in it, cemetery. And if you look back a few videos, you'll see my video of that walk through the graveyard there in Ajax. So now as we come down here to the sidewalk, that is looking westbound with 2 cars coming. Wow, that is double what I thought I would see tonight. Because as we look eastbound, nothing. So yeah, there's a famous place on the right, opened up in Toronto. Geez, down at Bathurst and I'm going to say Bathurst and King, Bathurst and Queen area, just a little bit north. California sandwiches. They opened up here in Ajax. The gentleman was walking along the sidewalk there in his reflective gear. Looks like one of the city workers, so. Yep. So as we walk along Kingston Road, Highway 2 here, we're going to cut in after the Casa Verde Italian restaurant, which has been here for, oh my, I can't even remember. I'll put the information below, but it's been decades and decades. Here's the back of that wooden building that we saw at the beginning that I thought actually looked like somewhere where you could set up some, tie your horses up. So yeah, this is a pretty famous exclusive restaurant here in Ajax. One more car coming. Sometimes they honk, sometimes they don't. And that one didn't. So as I walk through the side here of the Casa Verde, along their pathway, I'm going to say goodbye from places in Ontario, Canada, here in Ajax, / Whitby, / back to Ajax again, and this beautiful tree at the restaurant. If you'd like to subscribe, the bottom right corner, there's an outline of the province of Ontario with the word subscribe, and if you'd like, just click there, and it's that simple. You've subscribed. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. And if I missed something, let me know some history on a building that I walked by and just was oblivious as to what it was. So anyway, once again, thank you for visiting Places in Ontario, Canada, and we hope to see you come back real soon.